Whenever I get my taking a quamon, became an enemy was in Ketata, Semodum, the Lonya Bonabico, one nail, was in Ketata, Megan, Oya Toto Nancy, Oya Bokwa Bonanti. But I urge you on to Guinea to listen to me because now I will make sure I hit all angles. In my head, Nigeria begin Ochichi government of Akajidapo Ujona Atuofe. Government of Ochichi Akajidapo Ujona Atuofe. Why did I say so? Now let me give you a brief history because now a lot of us may have forgotten, but we refuse to know that now the future we are going for, the key to the future we want to step in, is actually in the past. The key to the future which we are going to and which we plan to go is actually making in the past. Now let's begin. On the 1st of January 2012, the government of Jonathan administration making Kuloku subsidy. Gidi subsidy, we're making a remove a subsidy. Now we're talking on 2nd of January 2012. Some group of people came together. And protest in this country. A country that had the largest protest ever done in the history of Nigeria. Second to the one of anti-SARS squad in 1989. Second to that one, anti-Guinea one squad in 1989. And my history should know about that because I was not born then. But I've come across such protests. That time, but there was a protest in 1989. Then in that 2012, because here 2012. 2012, don't comment on this video. Here 2012, year 2000. Year 2000, but go to then please leave this video. And into the system. I'm talking about into the system. Into the system, then you will not understand what I'm saying. In 2nd of January, a group of people came together to Megane to stage one of the biggest protests in the history of Nigeria, tagged Occupy Nigeria. What is their plan? Hasegene, leave fuel subsidy and tackle corruption. They were talking to Jonathan administration then. This group of people have men of God in their midst, have politicians in their midst, has intellectual people in their midst, have people like Nakbo, Detijon Arewa in their midst, and have some of the Yoruba intellectual people, somebody like Wale Soyinka was also making in their midst. Your father protested then, your uncle protested, your brothers protested, your mom protested then, which was Guinea Operation Occupy Nigeria. Those generation now held Nigeria on hostage because somebody called Goodluck Jonathan wanted the best for all of us. But then we are not seeing it as the best thing that could ever happen to us. It is Jonathan under pressure. Guinea, people started during that time. Because that's what you are saying that this topic can and what you some people here. But the truth must be said. The truth must be said. So that time, all these things, megide. Our brother being flavor that time, Nigeria Bezina. That song was released January 2012. It's on YouTube check. That song is roughly 13 years. It was released in 2012. A lot of us came together then. I seen Jonathan in Nigeria. Something dramatic happened. A wetaka in the year 2014 going to 2015. A reverend father called Reverend Father Mbaka gave a resounding prophecy that Nigeria as an egg is about to break in the hand of Jonathan. Which is not the only one that said it too. He is not the only one that said it. Mana forward to what happened, the game that happened at that time, a lot of people came together making it, tagged Mbaka evil, tagged Mbaka bad. That song by Mbaka Y became one of the most sold track of that era. I'm going to calculate today. Mbaka is not the only one that said it. So many men of God in Nigeria said it, including Rocha Sokorocha of Imo State. Rocha Sokorocha called Buhari a man of God sent by God to save Nigerians. A man of God sent by God to save Nigerians. That was when we are preparing for election that year. I think election was held that year. Because I can remember vividly very well on that year during the election. Because we were eager to vote. We were eager to vote. The Northerners were angry. Na gini me, na wepu Jonathan ti onye beha bi ni gini Buhari. Ndi Yoruba na asi yes, na nwanne ha nwoke na akwado bụ vice president. Na yeme gini, na yeme nka. Then the Igbo race, we are divided then. Itilo onye nka or support Jonathan for third agenda because now we believe na gini me, na Jonathan bu gini ebo yebi. A lot of people lost faith and many people believed in the Jonathan administration then. After all said and done, election were declared and Jonathan Megini considered defeat before the result even came out. We shut out the dream of so many people. Then, Ihanna Agwagime na 2015. Because obono ne mari hen na-ekwu, don't comment on this video. I keep saying it. Obono ne mari hen na-ekwu, leave this video. Because the government I know naketa bu government of Akajida Akpu ụjọ na-atụ ofe. The government of Akajida Akpu ụjọ na-atụ ofe. Then ewebata aka na January 1st, 2015. A president elected that time being Buhari we mepe ọnụ ya wee sị na Jonathan saved Nigeria from untold consequences. Kuno na afụ that na Jonathan administration maka election and saved Nigeria from untold consequences. Then somebody like some other Arewa groups but I say na Jonathan saved Nigeria from political crisis, which now you and I know that no borrow political crisis. Jonathan saw the future. Because he made a statement to say at the beginning that he cannot stain his hand with the blood of Nigerians because he already know what these people are planning, which is what is happening now. What is happening now? Mgbe Buhari win an election, the first thing because many of you may have forgotten. The first thing he did was to remove all the whole checkpoints in Uzo, both from Ugwa to Igbo to other places in the north, in the whole of Nigeria, because we free movement of items and people from different locations to the other. Because nobody no Ugwa Sambaha, man na onye obona no Ugwa Sambaha na ekpele ipata every day ya na ekpesiku na zowa kamoto no nya gala or accident or imagos accidental discharge. You'll be praying kida no na moto nwe bomb na because that time ihe na-ewu bomb. Our street in the far north then we are littered with people. Mandena for the room one hanety today. Mandem mass burial then. All those things we making we name. Have you wondered and asked yourself, Guinea Melo before election, anything like insurgents based on security, all those people full of men, but what you go everybody are not Jew until after election. And I just that thing. Then we talk on 2019. Mbaka made another statement where say Buhari change your agenda, otherwise Nigeria will change you in 2019. You're now going to Megan, go and check your news. Go and Megan and check your news. Osi Buhari magini me no bozi ku ihe akpa ka na emegine ka na afu. But one thing people forget to understand, because now the Bible said when the angel came to Mary, that Mary, you will bear forth a child. One thing that made Mary to stood before to stood greater than other women. Well, say the angel, how shall this thing be? Some men of God saw Buhari as an answered prayer to Nigerians. But they refused to ask God again, how shall this thing be? Because an attack on it. Because at the very moment John the Baptist, Mr. Jesus' baptism, a word the door from heaven now echoed, this is my beloved son, in whom I am well pleased. That was the very first day problem Jesus did. That was the day problem Jesus did. Because now once you echoed something from your mouth, and once the word has announced you, there must be a contention around your life. That was why the mouth of Zachariah was sealed, because if not, he will corrupt the child that is coming in the life of John the Baptist. Because he was so surprised in that era and refused to ask, how shall this thing be? But for God to make sure that his word come to pass, a seal on it, because as a man of God, he can abort prophecy. That was exactly what happened. Go and check your news. Kefon Obros also Mbaka kuna Buhari is an answered prayer for Nigerians. After all said and done, awe bataza n'ime ụgbọ bubu. Yenji kwulu okwu is that na Nigerians in na-achọ ịghọ ọrụ mgbọ will actually be the one to betray you. Abata n'ụgbọ bubu. A young man called Mr. Peter Obi wee pụta for election. The whole Nigerian rally ya n'azụ. Mụnwa bụ mmadụ here, I went and struggled for my national ID here, voters card. My voters card, enwero m ya nke eme n'ugwu mgbe ahụ, mgbe Jonathan I was disappointed. Eweje wete voters card, wee sị na nke a bụ gịnị, a lot of us voted for Peter Obi then. Which na gịnị me, God has his own way of doing things. Then a man of God rose from somewhere where saying people's choice will Peter Obi. People's choice beginning will Peter Obi. But because God has seen something in the life of Peter Obi, was saying that Nigeria will not be able to take Peter Obi now. Because again, the same thing they meant the life of Trump. Peter Obi. The same thing they meant in the life of Donald Trump now. Donald Trump brought back the agenda of God in the life of people of America. But he doesn't want God to take the all and lead the people. But if you don't understand this thing I'm saying now, because one day I will still talk about this very well. Donald Trump brought back the agenda of God in the life of Americans, the will of God in the life of Americans. Donald Trump brought it back, but he refused to give way that the will of God should be done. He started exalting himself as the God of the people. You will not understand this thing in Neku now, but later. Go and check what is happening in America now. This is exactly the same thing Kayime and Nigeria. People will be legal. Am I against people will be? No. Is he the man qualified for the job? Yes. But is he the will of God for Nigerians? No. Neither Tinubu or anybody is the will of God. Only God knows his will for the people. But imagine Tinubu will legal no church. Because now our people refuse to stand one place. Our people refuse to stand one place. Ihe anu wana make it na Nigeria. Obo na Peter Obi no na election. Ihe ka na Nigeria ya about time instead of what is happening now. Because now somebody came into power without any agenda for the people. Only what he cares about is, it is my turn to rule. No turn, yeah. The government of Akajidapu, Ujona Atofe. Bubu na achia eketa. A lot of people have gone silent. A lot of people kwesiri ikwu okwu for the betterment of this country has gone silent, because the people used in 2012 to carry out an agenda that will favor them 10 years, 13 years later can no longer speak, because they have sold their birthrights for a pot of porridge yam. in 2012. They sold it in 2012. Coming in 2023, they can no longer say anything. 2023, 2022, 2025, they cannot speak again because they have exchanged their voice for some monetary value at that time. That is when you were like, yeah, this is our God we are worshiping. He will let you see and behold the reward of the wicked. Many of them are alive today, but they are already dead because they can no longer speak. A man has sold his voice in 2012. So in 2023, 10 years later, he can no longer speak because no legal voice here. And they are there, losing their eye to behold the reward of wickedness. The reward of wickedness. Am I against what Mbaka said? As long as you open your mouth to say, God said, my name Abro God, your name Abro God, Rapo onyo oji onu ya weku, be to be the one to judge him. Rapo onyo oji afi ya weku should be the one to judge him. Kita Nigeria, kita, I know the problem that we don't know the solution. Problem that even the security forces that you are supposed to carry on the security of life and properties cannot do anything. Problem of onye kwuo okwu ofue. Ndị Igbo anyị, we have more internal problem karịa ndị ọzọ. But we refuse to pay attention to our own problem when we tackle ihe na-eme na be ndị ọzọ. Somebody like Matthias Ezehaku today shouldn't have given the chance to say some of the things on Eku because na gịnị me ndị Igbo anyị ji aka divide onwe anyị. Ne agenda anyị na-azọ for inwete Biafra. People like Ijele came out and they were speaking against it. And he has followers n'esu. Odu ka keka terrorism so ebido na Nigeria. Keka Boko Haram se bata na Nigeria. Most of you know Boko Haram is actually a Hausa word that stands for Western education is evil. Boko Haram means Western education that is evil. That was how insecurity started in Nigeria because these northern people, we have been bought this agenda where we are saying iji akwụkwọ is evil and iji akwụkwọ begin the wrong. Onwere ihe dị iche na ihe ndị ahụ na-eme mgbe ahụ the ihe Matthias na-eme today. He will never speak about our educational system near failing in Southeast. He will never speak against the government that is not doing well. He will be tackling where people are worshiping. When you tackle religion, tackle school and education, you are actually gaslighting a generation against themselves in the sense that onye jela akwụkwọ ya aghọta ha na-preach n'ụlọ ụka. Onye jela akwụkwọ ya aghọta ha na-preach na mosque. So ndị be ha ndị ugwu started this agenda of Boko Haramism ahụ in the sense that Western education is evil. So they decided to bring up people that can tackle you from Ega school. But here na abata school a kidnap on the Naga school. They decided again how you bury anything that has to do with Western education and people sponsored it. Now it has become a worldwide agenda without control again. Because now Obone Boko Haram si ebido. Emmanuel nwere onye buzo jide dey in charge of that Boko Haram then and was spied egbuo ya. So that the agenda we nwe isi. Egbuo the man. The agenda we making we carry on. Matthias Ezehaku in his own part now na akwadokwa form with the same agenda and people are going there and will be tied to any man that will come out to sponsor this agenda called Christianity. That is when the again we have serious problem in our midst. Kaliandozo ayayano in this problem kita falani hesmen abakutai. When we na video we see onye obona je chewa local government chairman and hold them to order. Hold them to accountability. Ayahano buteli mmili ezube tupu ayagbabo so mmili. Oka mma megini set your house in order now. Tupu ihe ya eme aya abia. Tupu ihe ya eme aya megini abia. Because the life of an Igbo man don't care about his brother. An Igbo average man actually for me and my household. As for me and my household, that was the agenda I move with. As for me and my household. That's when you're saying this message, but I told government of Guinea Akaji that Ojo na atofe. Today, nda hajicha buza aka haji akpu. Analogo di now. Ojo na atozi ofe aha kita nwa. Ai nwa bụ ndo na nwere ihe gbasara ai. Iputakwu okwu na this government ifwe. Akpolo hage. And nobody is ready to speak because the people's voices has been stolen in 2012. Since 2012, came the Zue voice and them mad. Fast forward to 10 years later, where are you today? A young man named Mazem Nandekanu came out where se no chori use up and beha. So Guinea, no chori use up and beha, ndi Igbo. Ndi Igbo sold him out to his people, to Guinea, to his enemies. Because someone will make video sooner. Muna gina abono here. Amara location on Nandekanu. On the one and the brothers, my people are actually the ones that gave him out. They were the people that gave him out to his enemies. And today, I make a court every day. How can you not a court witness who just to speak against somebody? A witness is coming out to speak against you in a court with masks and area. Where is it being done? Where is it being done? Agitation of Nigeria, you know that the Harrison Mbaka. The people that have been sent to protect the life of Igbo people are the ones buying them. Government of Akajida Ujana Tuofe. Very soon, Magun. What transpired between the life of Jericho. I will use the city called Jericho in the Bible. And the people of Zion Ministry and Ebukobi. Because I said it again, the key to the future we are going to is actually in the past. But we are not paying attention to it. That message in Abia. Can arrange the children, arrange the child for more. I will still speak about it. Because one thing you should know about Jericho is quiet, but they are no good. When God said, approach Jericho with a shout of noise, he has his reasons. In our own common eye, I can human Jericho be peaceful people. Because a city closed, no entrance, no coming out. The city that you don't know the king. But there's a wall that covers that place with full of soldiers. And the people inside cannot speak. Because none of them know their king. But a generation is coming where again approach Jericho with shout. We are still coming for that. Okay, for that message. By the time I'm done with it, I'm going to put here. So Biko, in your circle today, Mali here and make all give you them. What did I say? So can give you government yogo. You don't know but today, Mali here me go give you them mama way. If you people can come together, organize a vigilante for yourself, for your villages, talk to your PG, talk to Igbo Oboduno. Let there be make provision for the security of life and property of your villagers. Go ahead and do it. The government I know kitabu, government of Akajidakbo, Ojona Atuofe. Nigeria, I know name today. Nobody cares for you. And your life doesn't matter for anybody. After Donald Trump has exalted himself as a god to the people of America. He has not trusted in his own ability to say, in my own power, I'm doing this. Ochefugo, how God brought him back. Ochefugo, because people are drunk with power. onwe foto ome ọfụ o ji ekpuru okpu pope n'isi, and he dressed in a priestly regalia. What does that tell you? What does that tell you? And he posted it. But don't worry, all those things, I will still bring them out for you people one day. So that you know whatever I naga. Chiko bala se megin, o atopu go godo megin, baloto. Uchakwanum, cording.